Hey guys, Dov here with some more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action, and GOLDFINGER here going to be taking on BIRDMAN, Empire versus High Elves, so let's get to it. Gelt rockin' Final Transmutation, Plague of Rust, and Searing Doom, all fantastic choices here. Got a whole bunch of spearmen and swordsmen, halberdiers even, all sorts of state troops scattered around, silver bullets, Outriders with grenade launchers. I should mention this is Sarmatian, not me. Hammer of Witches, got some Reichsguard protecting the back here against any Vanguard shenanigans. And that's pretty much it. As for the High Elves, we've got a Sun Dragon here. Looks like Teclis moving in as well. Silver Helms, we've got a whole bunch of Spearmen in the front line. Yes, regular Spearmen, Archers, so nice wide High Elf line to contest against the state troops. So yeah, both quite large forces. I mean, I guess 800's not that much for High Elves, but at the same time, it is a pretty decent amount. But yeah, a pretty proper mage fight here between BIRDMAN and GOLDFINGER. I keep wanting to call him Goldmember. Maybe I should just call him Goldmember. Anyway. Yeah, and obviously, Gelt doesn't want to take this engagement in melee. He's going to immediately flee away there, BIRDMAN being a much superior melee combatant. But Gelt is probably about half the cost, so there's that. He can't avoid taking this focus fire as well. Talons of Torquilada are one of those archers. But melee engagement getting underway. These state troops will trade very cost effectively into spearmen, especially these swordsmen here. With their armor glinting in the sun as they battle back and forth. You can see kind of the munitions grade state troop armor, not quite as shiny as the glittering, gleaming High Elves, very appropriately. But, you know, it is mass manufactured in Reichland, provided by, by the government, I guess, of Reichland, the Empire, yeah, state troops, right? So, they're going to fight, they'll do their best, and in various cases, they'll actually do quite well. Hammer of Witches will continue to pound away as well, picking away at the few cavalry targets that it does have, definitely a wise choice. Balthazar just sitting back, cackling, wearing his face mask, sniffing Cheeto dust, probably, who knows. Anyway, well, the monster is not really sure where to land. Honestly, they could probably push up and support this infantry fight. Like this breath attack of the breath attack of the Sun Dragon would be quite nice against those Empire swordsmen in particular. A nice bombardment as well from Gelt, going to do a lot of damage to those archers. That Searing Doom, super cost-effective spell, gives that nice little weapon damage buff to all of the Empire units as well every time you spam that. Or the Plague of Rust, but Balthazar does need to be careful. BIRDMAN and his squad hunting up in the air. Looks like we're going to get a net of Ammontok on these Reichsguard, hitting them in place. They did still connect on the charge, though, on those archers and do quite a bit of damage. Reichsguard, such a fantastic unit in general. Kind of the quintessential Swiss Army knife unit. Do just about most things. I mean, they're not going to necessarily be the best heavy cavalry in any situation, but you can throw them into most situations and expect them to do reasonably decent. Here, though, they took a lot of damage from that breath attack. Very nicely done. Going to get terrified away by Teclis, and a beautiful fiery convocation just wrecks a whole bunch of state troops here. Teclis unleashing his full fury here. Actually only did 29 kills. That surprises me. It seems like it should be maybe a little more, but anyway. Maybe it didn't actually take out too many unit models. There are still 2 reserve units of Reichsguard chilling in the back. They can be deployed in the late game here to help clean up some of these archers and so on. But for now, just kind of sitting back and waiting to see where the Dragon and Teclis go. Sun Dragon only 60 armor, so if the Reichsguard can get a nice open field charge, as particularly with Plague of Rust, obviously, that'll put them at 0 armor. They can do a lot of damage on the charge, but just kind of depends. It does depend on them getting a good engagement while the dragon's on the ground, right? You don't want to get charged by the dragon, certainly. But the Silver Helms are having a bit of a hard time of it, ping-ponging around, charging different state troop targets, trying to support this infantry engagement, but they are just perpetually taking damage from that Hammer of Witches, although the Hammer of Witches itself taking some damage. The crew try to maneuver out of range of those High Elf archers, and you can see the Reichsguard now having to be deployed, push back these archers and protect that Hammer of Witches crew as long as possible from the ranged fire. Meanwhile, Teclis and his bird using their terror, Teclis and his dragon, I should say, and his bird, using their terror to clean up some of these state troops that overextend a little bit. And balance of power still dead even after quite a bit of slugging back and forth, but this could be pretty decisive here. These Reiksguard pushing through. You can see Tekla starts to maneuver to respond, and the Reiksguard are going to go ahead and pull back. They had done their mission, though, of securing the Hammer of the Witches, right? Mission accomplished in that regard, so they can pull back and just allow some of these state troops to take the heat. Silver Bullets taking a little bit of fire there. They will try and pull back. The stock not quite taking effect as they are still visible, unfortunately. But Sarmation staying calm, securing his high-value units here, staying back with, you know, the important parts of his army, and just playing up and playing forward with these state troops as they harass and continuously kind of push on the high elf infantry and rangers. I say rangers, ranged units, archers. There are no actual rangers here, although some rangers would have been fantastic in this build. I do think that, and I don't know if this high elf player had the DLC. I guess he did, right? Because he does have the talents of Torquelada. But I do think mixing in like 1 or 2 units of rangers in your high elf build against Empire to clean state troops, very effective. They will trade very cost effectively against, you know, your run-of-the-mill state troops, spearmen, and swordsmen. They have some veterancy. It won't go quite as clean of an engagement, but certainly just like regular basic state troops without any chevrons, they'll just clean their clocks, absolutely. Speaking of getting his clock cleaned, Balthazar had taken all of the breath attack here. He was flammable from the talons of Torquelada, so Cheeseface getting melted a little bit here as he pulls away. And did he actually get hit by a fireball there, cannonball there en route? He may have actually got friendly fire there and routed, but he'll come back. He's a brave fellow. And as it is right now, you can see Teclis and the Dragon are healthy, but basically the rest of the High Elf army is in tatters. There are a bunch of tattered state troops here as well, and how about those grenade launchers? Haven't really been highlighting them too much, but they're going to come in the late game here and potentially be very key. Again, both Teclis and the Dragon don't have a lot of armor, and these blasting, I almost said blasting charges, grenades, they do a lot of damage against any low armor targets, even low armor monsters. And there have been some rare games on my channel. I think it was during tournaments. Can't put my finger on it. I'd have to go back and look. But if you look hard at my past streams, you'll find there is a handful of games where I've seen people using grenade outriders, like against Skaven monsters, for example. Only 30 armor on them. These guys do have more, but still 60 to 50 armor is still not great when you're looking at the explosive damage of blasting charges. Be able to do effective DPS, so we'll see if that's kind of the key in the late game here, or if it ends up being the Reiksguard. There are still a few tools for taking down the Dragon, and the Silver Bullets also hold way back here in a stock position, nice and hidden in a reserve to help deal with that. So yeah, honestly, Sarmation, despite the balance of power being slightly against him here, is in a decent position. He's got a lot of tools left. Balthazar is also back from route, chilling back behind the cannon, and both players kind of reassessing, reforming. The Silver Helms, if he can finish them off with this cannon, that would be great. It's a tough decision, though. Me, personally, I might be shelling these archers instead just to try and take out as many of their shots as possible. But the state troops kind of rallying back towards the cannon here. Reiksguard standing proud in a defensive position. Oh yeah, we'll get in close. Check out these Reiksguard glinting in the sun. All the absolute carnage up in the background there. Oh yeah, let's get a nice zoom-in shot. Got the state troops advancing. Reiksguard are going to be pulling back. Silver Bullets in a position to begin firing on these high-value targets, and they do unleash a volley there. Teclis does have a little bit of physical resistance, so those Silver Bullets will obviously help against him. Likewise, the cannon also being unleashed. I believe it's going after the Silver Helms, but since the cannon's standing in the line of fire, it might actually just hit the Dragon instead. Since the Dragon's standing in the cannon's line of fire. And the Dragon itself is getting lit up by the Silver Bullets here, so the fact that the Empire still has this powerful skirmish online will be very key here. The archers are going to try and push up and kind of counterfire a little bit here, but they really don't have a whole lot of ammo or models left, and you can see now Sarmation switching onto the archers. The Talons of Torquelada in particular are going to be the best target and the most valuable, certainly. So targeting them is the right idea, and since they're in these nice little blocky formations, they actually are just just juicy targets for these cannons, right, while they're maneuvering that way. And you can see, oh man, another Searing Doom going to catch a whole bunch of them here. Balthazar just going all in on the Flaming Cheeto drop. That does a lot of damage to those troops. A nice net of Ammontok manages to break up those Reichsguard, but it only actually catches one of the unit. The other unit, although it looks like it's been netted, they're not quite in the center mass of that spell. They're able to still connect on the charge here. Fiery Convocation from Teclis does tag the Reichsguard, but their heavy armor helping to prevent damage from that. Likewise, the Final Transmutation also being thrown from Balthazar now. Just a regular Final Transmutation will finish off those Silver Helms and allow those Reichsguard to pull away from the big scary monsters who had been dealing a lot of damage to them. Managed to mostly peel away the archers and protect, but look at this. Dragon's at its healing cap. Another beautiful Searing Doom coming in and disrupting the archers. Not only does it do damage, but it also throws their unit models around and prevents them from firing. And displaces them, right? The High Elf player gives an order to move them out of the range of that spell, right? So just the disruption and the damage both of that Searing Doom, so nice to have in this late game here against these High Elves. More volleys from the Silver Bullets. Yeah, Sun Dragon, just staying consistent on the Sun Dragon since it's at its healing cap. Definitely the right call there. Teclis is a tempting target, but he probably still has a few casts of Potion of Chiroi. And definitely just getting rid of the Sun Dragon. I mean, that's one more single entity off the board. Likewise, grenade launchers come in, get a few cheeky volleys. They have been counterfired decently by the archers, and very low on HP and leadership at this point, so they have to be careful. But that was a nice little volley there. Nice little hit-and-run attack. Now redeploying back behind the lines, and the Empire is going to push with their numbers advantage. These monsters can't be everywhere at once, right? So a full, you know, all units push across the board. They can only stop in one place, and even then, they still don't really stop that charge of those Reichsguard. They still come through and just hammer those archers, and then immediately pull away. And yeah, there's nothing left to protect these archers. Two monsters can do their best. They're going to go back and probably snipe Balthazar, and he can just fly away. He's fast enough to easily get away. And the charge of the Reichsguard, here to win the day. Yes, glory for the Empire. And with those units being cleaned up on the ground, you can see balance of power is still very even considering Teclis and the Sun Dragon. Nice breath attack there, and Teclis going to charge down and start to deal with some of these ranged units. I believe the Hammer of Witch is completely out of ammo at this point, so it's up to the Reichsguard to try and countercharge here. Balthazar perhaps as well, but here the Reichsguard do countercharge. They actually stagger that dragon and get some really nice damage in. Reichsguard 62 charge bonus, 40 weapon damage, so they're hitting for 100 weapon damage on the charge. And some of that will be mitigated by the armor, no doubt, but still, consistent hits from the state troops as well. Halberdiers even with their armor piercing. Obviously just going to ignore that 60 armor almost entirely. Teclis comes back over as well. And it's just not looking great for the two monsters. There's just too much left here. The Sun Dragon routes, and now it's just Teclis by himself. There maybe what? Yeah, those archers are going to be chased off by the grenade launchers. And a nice final transmutation. Looks like the dragon does actually come back from rout, but at this point, it's all over for Birdman. Goldfinger wins this time. Nice evil cackle. Was that a bit of friendly fire from the cannon? I thought they were out of ammo. Oh no, I don't know exactly. But Silver Bullets eat a charge here from the Sun Dragon. But again, here come the Reichsguard with their charge bonus ready. They're going to push him away. Does manage to shatter the boys there, but Teclis is getting beat down by these state troops. And that's it. That is it. Going to be army losses for the Elves, and a really nice game from Sarmation. Very close, very well played to both players. Yeah, beautiful build from Sarmation there. Nice wide with tons of state troops. Good use of Halberdiers as well. Not every day you see that. Reichsguard also. Just a nice choice against the High Elves. Utilize them against various targets, which we saw some of that here. They charged monsters. They charged archers. You know, they I don't know if they really countercharged cavalry too much, but regardless, did a great job. Techless also is an absolute menace. 115 kills there, 123 for the Silver Helms, 119 for the Sun Dragon. And yeah, Archers also cleaning up a lot of kills as well, 63 and 66. Pretty decent considering their low cost. State Troops, likewise, we see a lot of the same things. 77, 88, 65 for State Troop Swordsmen. Very nice for the cost. The Silver Bullets doing a lot of damage. And how about that Hammer of Witches? 130 kills, just absolutely making mincemeat of that High Elf line. The fact that it was able to stay online and firing the entire time was quite impactful. 99 kills as well for the Outriders, so just a great replay. Yeah, give a round of applause to Samnation for that one. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Check out my social links in the description down below, and I'll see you next time.